What is the DOJ doing? Like, how could they continue to try to keep this up? I mean, Pam Bondi's got to be sweating bullets over there.
Donald Trump and this entire generation of MAGA Republican are quite accustomed to never having to be held to account.
Mm, hmm.
Right? They can say things and they recognize and they've learned that if they change their mind, more often than not, their core base will change their mind with them. That this is one of the first times in between his two terms that he hasn't been able to just move on when he's done with something. Even his own base has been, very, very adamant that no, we're not done with this, right? There's
Yeah.
something here. As for why him and his DOJ won't act, right, it's because they're protecting people. What
Yeah.
we want is the investigation. We
Right.
want to see the entire picture. That's why we've been calling for the release of all of the files
Right.
so that we can see who has actually helped this man and this woman do these crimes, right? That's why we want the full picture.
It's an accountability and a reckoning, and it really does have the opportunity to reset American decency in some ways, right? To say, look, you weren't wrong. You weren't crazy. There was an era of corruption between the banks and the elite and the powerful. And now what I see is these new legislators like yourself coming in who are younger, who are not in the files because we were too young to, if we're in them, we're victims, okay? We weren't in them in any kind of bad way. This sort of up and coming generation who has been under the thumb of rich and powerful people who have stopped us from either getting opportunities, moving ahead in life, who have created the America that we're living under right now, where people can't afford a home. This stuff is all connected to the rich and powerful people who are in these files. And folks want accountability for the full structure of how we got where we are today, whether that is the sex crime side of it or it is the banking crime side of it. It is the way that they have protected each other. They have enriched each other as this particular, reign of elite. And we want to see accountability for that across the board. And I bet that Donald Trump would have been able to move people along if, in fact, the things he tries to say the Republicans have done so well were doing so well. He'll say the cost of living is better, affordability is better. I don't want to talk about the Epstein files. I want to talk about all the great things Republicans have done. But they haven't. People know when they go to the grocery store if they can afford their groceries or not. And no amount of rhetoric from Trump is changing that for them. This is such a generational moment for young Gen X and Millennial and Gen Z legislators to say, look, we grew up under this. This has been our whole lives dealing with this level of corruption from the ruling class. And we're going to be the ones to get it now. We're going to change the trajectory of this country and we can bring you back that promise that America are the good guys. But we have to do this first.